Hey there everybody, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and this is the weekly angel card reading video starting from Monday the 27th of April through to Sunday the 3rd of May 2020. So let's get started shuffling and seeing what messages the angels have to tell us about what's ahead this week. So Monday's card, you are a powerful light worker. This kind of confirms something that you probably already know, which is that you have an ability to tap into your intuition, that you have an ability to know things that you cannot explain. The problem is, if you're anything like me, your brain often wants to argue with you about whether those messages are legit or not. It's an interesting card. If you are embarking or considering embarking on I guess a deeper path as a light worker, maybe you're thinking of starting some sort of spiritual business or learning and developing your spiritual gifts, this card would be like a green light for you. But it also speaks to, this word powerful is significant here. It also speaks to anything that might be getting in the way of you connecting with your intuition, and also with you understanding what you're here to do, you understanding your life purpose, and being confident and comfortable enough to really step into that journey. Let me read this to you. It is safe for you to be powerful. That is important. There's more words, but that is the part that I'm zeroing in on here, because so much of our lives is spent avoiding what we know we need to do because we're scared. We're scared of failing. We're scared of succeeding and what that might mean, the changes that might mean. We're scared of what people will think of us. We're scared of being prominent in some way, all sorts of things. And this is what stops us from being who we are, from being authentic, from stepping into that path. And it's also the thing that we regret when we're older. We regret not doing it. So the card is asking us to really take a more empowered position towards, what am I doing with this life of mine? What is stopping me from being who I know I am? And what am I going to do about that? If not now, when? They're kind of laying down the gauntlet, I feel, with that card. You're right. What you feel you're here to do, you're right about. You may not have all the answers right now. You may not know exactly what that's going to look like, but you know enough to get started. And that's what the universe is really encouraging you to start with. Tuesday's card, financial healing. I'm noticing that probably the last 4 weeks, every single week, there has been at least one card around money, finances, abundance, etc. And this is what we've got here. The card says your money struggles are a thing of the past. Be open to avenues to receiving and you'll be provided for in every way. The first part of that message is problematic because it's almost promising something, and I never want to make promises with these cards. The cards do not promise us that things will change. What they tell us is that there is possibility, there is potential for things to change. We need to do the work. Be open to all avenues to receiving and you'll be provided for in every way. That is how we do the work. What is stopping you from accepting more money? It might sound like a weird thing to say. Who's not open to more money? But in fact, a lot of people are closed off to receiving help and support. And that may not be in the form of money, but those things are related. If you've got someone offering to help you, to give you support, and you keep turning them down, this card is really challenging you to be open to receiving. And that's not necessarily money. That could be someone offering food for your family or anything like that, or to pick up your kids from wherever. If we aren't willing to accept help from other people, we are not willing to accept help from the universe. And that means that whatever we're asking for, we're not going to get it because we're blocking it. So that's something you need to think about. Where is the healing that needs to happen in your relationship with the flow of abundance, the flow of support, whether that be financial or immaterial in some way? It's also about understanding that you will be supported, and that is consistent with what we've had over the past few weeks. The fears that we have around the current world situation are very real, but we need to make a choice how much we're going to let them drag us down. If we believe that what we are afraid of is inevitable, if it is inescapable, what we're doing is drawing that potential into our lives, attracting it to our energy and making it a certainty. And I'm not saying that, negative events won't still happen to us anyway, even if we're trying to focus on being positive, but we need to make sure we're not exacerbating that likelihood or that potential. Yeah, we can't just avoid negative outcomes by thinking positive, and it's also not possible to be positive all the time, and certainly not desirable. But we need to make sure that we are not contributing to the flow of bad luck. I don't believe in bad luck, but I'm just using that as an example because it's a language that's familiar to you. Then we're going to keep expecting things to go wrong, and they will, because that's what the message we're sending out. It's the command we're giving the universe. Excuse me. Wednesday's card is No Place Like Home. Such a beautiful image. I love it. And it's interesting this has come up at a time when many of us are forced to be at home in order to keep ourselves, our families and the community safe. So even though we didn't choose this, it's a wonderful time for feeling a better connection to our home. And it's really important that you do feel safe in your home. And so there are a number of ways you could look at this. You could see this as an invitation to change things around, so you do feel more, it feels more homely. Perhaps you start rearranging the furniture, or you start throwing out your ex's stuff, or I don't know. The card is asking you to celebrate the home that you have. And so there are lots of ways that you could do that. They don't have to cost money. It could be a decluttering thing, because remember, when we move stuff that is stagnant or that is weighing us down in some energetic level, we clear space so that more energy can come in. If you're looking to move or buy a house, this could be a helpful card for you to help you along that process, to attract what it is you want, what it is you're looking for. So remember to ask the angels for help. Oh my goodness. Thursday's card, prosperity. We literally had this card on Wednesday, and it's basically everything I just said about the financial healing card. It's this cornucopia that she's holding is significant, and yes, it's money or gold in the sense that's coming out of it, but it doesn't have to be money. We also need nourishment in the form of food, of shelter, those sorts of things. So kind of that base chakra stuff comes up around here, for those of you who are familiar with the chakras. If you're not, that's okay. It's probably not a message you need to know in that regard. Your material needs are provided. This is the key thing that keeps coming through. You are provided for. You are being looked after. You are safe. Again and again and again and again, we're being told, because we need to keep being reminded, because we're surrounded by we're surrounded by fear, and we're surrounded by negative news. And the card is letting us know we have enough. We will have enough of what we need. Please don't panic buy. Please don't freak out. Please don't make choices that don't serve you out of a fear you won't have enough. The universe is providing for you. Friday, this card is called, the angel on this card is called Fiona. If you are a Fiona, maybe this is a big sign for you. It's all about receiving. So I really have touched on this already. Now that you've asked the angels for help, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance. You deserve heaven's help. That's an interesting one, isn't it? You deserve. Often some of the reasons that we do block ourselves off from that flow of receiving love, support, resources is out of a sense of unworthiness. And it may not be the first thing that comes to your mind. It might be like a limiting belief lurking somewhere in your subconscious. And that might go back to your childhood. Almost everything does go back to your childhood. If you had to earn anything, if you were deprived of your basic needs, if you were deemed to be naughty, or for reasons that didn't even make sense, that's going to really affect your ability to trust or to feel safe receiving or welcoming something, because you might feel there's a price to pay, or you might have been told that you don't deserve it because you weren't built up in terms of your self-esteem as a child. So the card is asking us to remember we are children of the universe. We are provided for. We have enough. Again, very, very strong theme this week, and very, very welcome, I would say, as well. So it's one of the reasons that people can find that they're asking for something and they feel like it's not showing up for them, is sometimes this can be one of the reasons is they're not actually open to receiving, or they are only open to receiving it in the way they determine it. For example, they're asking for money and they expect it to show up in a lottery ticket that's a winner. And the universe often doesn't deliver in terms of lottery winnings, I'm sorry. It might be someone else, is offering to lend you money and you're saying no because it's not what you expected and it's not what the form you wanted it to appear in. So just be aware that things show up differently to how we might perceive that they are needed. I remember I was asking for abundance a few years ago. I know I've shared this before, but I got a free holiday through, it wasn't a prize as such, it was an opportunity through work where I didn't actually even have to do any work. I just got to go on this great trip to Malaysia. So those sorts of things can happen. It wasn't the answer I expected or the package I expected, but it was very, very welcome and very much needed, and it was fantastic. And I said yes, and I received it gratefully. So, Saturday, intention. I always think of, when I see this image, I always think of like the people at airports who are like directing in the plane. They've got those paddle things. I don't know what they're called, because that's what it looks like this angel is doing for me. So I get a sense of someone, some divine entity kind of directing us in some way, and reminding us that maybe we need to direct the energy ourselves. If your intentions are scattered, you're saying you want this, but you're going after this other thing instead. You're saying you want a relationship, but you're doing a string of one-night stands. No judgment, but that's not in alignment with what you're actually asking for. Or you're asking for a whole lot of other things, a whole lot of things at once, and not really committing to one of them. You're jumping around. That's also scattered energy. That's not conducive to the universe knowing where to direct any energy, really. It's you don't have clear intentions. The card is about clarity. You need to be really clear about what you intend. What is it you want to create in this life? Have very clear intentions. Don't just get caught up in this flow of going along and just hoping things get better for you. They won't. You need to direct that energy flow by moving in the direction of what you want. The universe responds to action. So taking action steps, even if they're just tiny, even if it's just, buying a domain name for your business, that's a really good start. Have really clear intentions. Don't just jump around, and don't just hope that things will change without you setting a clear, hey universe, this is what I want. And of course, we do need to remember with intentions that sometimes the universe will send us the goal in a different form, a bit like with the abundance thing, but excuse me, we still need to have the clear intentions. And the way I look at this is I'm in charge of the what and the why. The universe is in charge of the how and the when. And that goes for a whole series of different goals. It could be anything from work to relationship to house to anything really. Sunday's card, nice and simple here. Notice the signs. Kind of dovetails nicely with this Monday card. You are a powerful light worker. So this intention of understanding our immense power as spiritual beings in this human body is really really significant, and really that experience that we've had of of being able to tap into our intuition and then feeling like we're so in alignment of, oh, I get it now. We've all had these moments in our lives, or we got a message, we acted on it, and it turned out to be incredible, or equally, you didn't act on it and things went south. We've all had these moments. We know what it's like, and we know we are capable of that. And if you're watching me, you've got some spiritual abilities, because you're being drawn into my energy, and like attracts like. So this is a simple way you can really get some clarity around those messages to make sure that, have I understood this correctly? Ask for a sign. I gave an example to a client this morning of this. Say you feel like you're getting a message to go to a particular place. If I'm really not sure if that is in fact an intuitive message, or whether it's just my fear trying to keep me busy so I don't sit in stillness or something like that, I'll say, angels, can you please, I think I'm being called to go to this place. Can you please give me a sign that I can easily understand to confirm that that is accurate? And then I just let it go. I don't go looking for the sign. Otherwise you'll go, oh, is that a sign? That could be something. And I wait for the sign to find me. If the sign doesn't find me, I know it's not true. But to be honest, most of the time it is my intuition. So I usually do get the sign. Typical signs include finding feathers in unexpected places, finding coins in unexpected places, hearing significant music or song lyrics, seeing rainbows, seeing clusters of butterflies, that's often a big one. Cloud formations. If you look online, there's a lot of signs of people actually seeing, you know, the shape of angels in clouds. So that would be a hard sign to miss, I would think. That's really someone hitting you over the head in a nice way. And of course, repeated digits, particularly 111. So there we have it. The big theme of the week is, oh, and I should also mention with signs, if you're seeing signs and you haven't asked for them, please don't be distressed. It doesn't mean you're doing things wrong. It just means the angels are trying to get your attention and they're letting you know they're there, they're supporting you. I see it as a good opportunity to check in with my mindset and try and really make sure that I am actually thinking in alignment with what I want instead of thinking about all the things that are wrong, which would, you know, potentially result in me manifesting things I do not want or negative outcomes. So I see it as like a check-in moment as well. This is the first week for quite some time that I've not had multiple cards for one day, and that is very welcome. So this idea of, let's run the wrong way, this idea of tuning into our intuition and really, really developing that, trusting it is super strong this week. The abundance messages around remembering that we are supplied for, that we have enough, is also important, and the message about receiving as well. So I think that's it for the week. Hopefully that was all clear to you. I think it's, unlike last week, is a week where things are very much in alignment. If you are wanting to book a personal reading with me where I can go into greater depth with you, you can do that via my website. I do my sessions via Zoom. That means I work with people all around the world. Time zones are totally workaroundable. I use PayPal for payment. And I also do energy healing at the end to help clear some of the things that have come up in the cards. So it's not just giving you guidance on how you can move forward. It's actually clearing the things that are energetically blocking you from doing that and giving you some positive energy to help you along the way. And so you can do that via my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. You can also connect with me on Facebook. My Facebook page is called One Grounded Angel, and on Instagram, of course, at One Grounded Angel, where each card will be each day with ideally a bit more information on each one. And don't forget that by the time each day has come around, you may well find things have changed a bit in your life and you've got a whole new context to apply that card to, which can be pretty interesting. So thanks everybody for watching. It doesn't mean that you got it wrong the first time. It just means you probably needed a bit more information. We can have multiple meanings from the same card and all of them can be applicable at once. It's just the magic of the cards. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a terrific week. Stay safe and don't forget to wash your hands a lot.